Hello children, welcome to aimsindia's online classes. This is biology session. You are watching environmental pollution part 2. Children, in the part 1 we defined pollution. What is pollution? Pollution is the anything undesirable change takes place in the environment by adding unwanted substances which disturb the natural composition of the elements of environment is called a pollution. Okay? So, we studied that there are different types of pollutions, the pollutions such as atmosphere pollution or air pollution, soil pollution or land pollution, sound pollution, visual pollution. Okay? And in detail air pollution we are discussing, isn't it? What is greenhouse effect, children? Greenhouse effect, the carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere will form a layer over the earth and it absorbs the radiation from the sun, especially infrared radiation, and emits it so that it keeps the earth warm up to 15 degrees centigrade, isn't it? So, unless this greenhouse effect took place, there is no life exist on the earth. But unfortunately, what is happening now? The greenhouse effect is increasing due to the addition of large quantities of greenhouse gases. Can you give examples for greenhouse gases, children? Carbon dioxide, methane, some other gases. Especially carbon dioxide is called the greenhouse gas. Okay. So, if the percentage of carbon dioxide increases in the atmosphere, it will lead to global warming. What is global warming? Global warming is nothing but a increase in greenhouse effect. Okay. What are the effects of global warming? Some places severe floods, in some places drought and famine conditions. Okay. So, the main cause of global warming is industrialization, utilization of the more automobiles, or consumption of fossil fuels, increasing the consumption of fossil fuels. Okay. To overcome the problems, so we studied that using of electrostatic precipitators, scrubbers, okay, and the methods of controlling air pollution. The main thing is we have to avoid deforestation and we have to encourage afforestation, grow the green plants more and more. Let us proceed, children. Are you ready? Today's class. So, in 2002 all the buses were switched to CNG, compressed natural gas, in Delhi, and this has indeed led to a fall in pollution levels in the city. Okay, because CNG means compressed natural gas, it is an environment friendly fuel, so less toxic in nature. The vehicles can be fitted with catalytic converters, it is another thing. So, in the silencers of the vehicles, these catalytic converters are arranged. So, when these catalytic the converters arrange, what happens? What they will do? They change, they help in they act like catalysts, and they protect, they reduce the pollution, the poisonous gases evolved by combustion of the fossil fuels. Okay, the vehicles can be fitted with catalytic converters that have metals such as platinum, palladium and rhodium as catalysts. So, these catalysts carry out the following conversions. What they will do? The unburnt hydrocarbons which are there, they are burnt and converted into carbon dioxide and water. Okay. The next, the carbon monoxide is converted to carbon dioxide and the nitric oxides are converted into nitrogen gas. Unleaded petrol must be used with catalytic converters as the presence of lead in the petrol inactivates the catalyst. Okay. And that is why when you go to a petrol bunk, you will be seeing on the a label unleaded petrol. Okay. Because if the lead is present, it prevent the conversion. Okay. So, it is very important when a hydrocarbon is completely burnt, then it converts into carbon dioxide and water. When the hydrocarbons are not completely burnt, then harmful gases like carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitric oxides like that, they are released. Okay. So, catalytic converters are very useful. Okay. So, nowadays the modern vehicles, so electronic bikes are coming, so it is well and good, no pollution, pollution is reduced. If we are using these non-electronic bikes which run by the fuels like petrol or diesel, catalytic converters must be arranged so that the pollution can be reduced. Okay. So, these scrubbers and electrostatic precipitators will help in settling down the particulate pollutants, whereas the scrubbers help in converting the harmful gases like sulfur dioxide and all those things can be filtered and clean air is released from the factories or industries. Okay. Next, water pollution. The water pollution is the act of contaminating water bodies including rivers, oceans, lakes, streams and so whatever it may be, the water bodies, even groundwater, aquifers, etc. It occurs when the foreign harmful materials like chemicals, waste matter or contaminated substances are directly or indirectly discharged into the water bodies. Okay. How water gets contaminated? When additional unwanted or harmful materials are added to the water, then the water get contaminated. So, any alterations in the chemical, physical or biological properties of water will qualify as water pollution. Okay. Any change in the chemical, physical or biological water properties leads to water pollution. So, very often the primary contributors to water pollution are human activities, since they introduce the substances that contaminate the water with harmful chemicals and toxic materials. So, water pollution is categorized into point source, non-point source and groundwater. Okay. So, the water pollution occurs at 3 levels. One is a point source, non-point source and groundwater. Okay. So, point source water pollution occurs when the contaminants enter a water body from a single identifiable source, while non-point source occurs as a result of cumulative effects of different amounts of contaminants. Okay. point source means we can control it, only one source from, but non-point source means cumulative effects, okay, different amounts of contaminants are added. Then groundwater pollution occurs through infiltration and affects the groundwater sources such as wells or aquifers, ponds, lakes, ditches, small water bodies. Okay. Water is the considered the second most polluted environmental resource after air pollution. Okay. So, it is the second level. The first most polluted is air, then second one is water. Okay. Water is very essential for the maintenance of life on the earth. Due to human activities, water bodies have become polluted all over the world. Okay. So, in the urban areas, due to industrialization, okay, the water gets polluted, and in the rural areas also, now the industries outskirts of the villages, where water source is there, there only the industries will be built. Okay. So, the debris from the industries and even human activities such as cleaning and washing of the clothes, more usage of the fertilizers and pesticides and insecticides which are flush out into the water bodies will also lead to the contamination of the water. Okay. So, this water pollution, some of the common pollutants and their sources of water pollution. The domestic sewage, it mainly contains organic matter which is biodegradable. Okay. Then microorganisms involved in their degradation consume a lot of oxygen, and the domestic sewage, okay, the biodegradable. What is the meaning of biodegradable, children? Biodegradable means which can be converted into the high toxic materials can be converted into low toxic materials, especially the organic matter is toxic. So, it is converted into low toxic or inorganic substances. Then the process is called biodegradation. This biodegradation takes place in the presence of some microorganisms. Okay. The microorganisms also involved in the degradation consume a lot of oxygen, and the BOD means biological oxygen demand. The biological oxygen demand of the water body increases, leading to the death of other aquatic organisms like fishes. Okay. Next, sewage also contains many pathogenic microbes, disease causing microbes, which may cause the outbreak of many diseases such as typhoid, jaundice, cholera, etc. Okay. Then another important the source of water pollution, industrial effluents. Industrial effluents contain inorganic toxic substances which may undergo biomagnification. What is biomagnification? It is very important. Okay. Biomagnification means increase in the concentration of the toxic at successive trophic levels. Okay. So, in the ecosystem or environment, wherever environment discussion come, we use the technical term ecosystem. Okay. It is the unit of biosphere in which the living organisms are living. So, in the ecosystem, so this biomagnification occurs in the industrial areas. So, what happens, the industrial effluents, when they are added to the water bodies, they increase the concentration of the toxin, okay, and that toxin may lead to the decrease in the oxygen levels, increase in the temperature. Okay. So, like that it may lead to the death of the organisms in a particular trophic level. Trophic level means we can say there are different trophic levels in the ecosystem. The first trophic level is occupied by especially water bodies. If you take the diatoms and some pelagic organisms like phytoplanktons and zooplanktons, okay, they get affected by this toxic. Okay. The toxin gets accumulated in the body of an organism and is passed on to the next level, next trophic level, because you know very well food chain you studied. The food chain means the interdependence of one organism over the other organism. Okay. So that the toxins are also passed from one organism to other organism. For example, DDT is an insecticide and other heavy metals such as mercury and cadmium, okay, they are passed, okay, from the water bodies into the fish. When the fish are eaten by some other organism, it enters into that organism. When it is eaten by another organism, it enters into that organism. Like that the transfer of not only the energy, but these toxins also takes place. Okay. Next, thermal wastewater discharge, thermal pollution. The heated water flowing out of the thermal power plants increase the temperature of the water body. Okay. Because water is used as a coolant in the industries and in the thermal power stations. So, that hot water is released directly. When it is cooled and released into, less effect will be there, but if it is a very hot condition, when it is released into the water bodies, then it will lead to the thermal pollution. Okay, it eliminates the cold water species and promotes the warm water species. These are the adverse effects of discharge of thermal waste waters. In the long run, what happens? It causes damages to the indigenous biodiversity of the water body, means the biodiversity, the species, it will lead to the distinction of species. Okay. Some important plants and animals, microscopic organisms will be vanished from that water body. Okay. Next problem is eutrophication. Okay. Eutrophication is the aging of water body due to nutrient enrichment of its water. It can be natural or artificial. Okay. Eutrophication means increasing the nutrient levels in the water. It may enhance the growth of algae or some other weed plants. Due to that, oxygen level will be decreased and the remaining organisms will die. Okay. The natural process takes place thousands of years, but due to human activities the eutrophication process has got accelerated. Okay. Cultural eutrophication it is called, because of the unscientific agricultural methods, traditional agricultural methods, usage of more insecticides, pesticides and what do you call the fertilizers especially. Okay, tons and tons of fertilizers are added like urea, NPK, DAP, like that the different types of artificial chemical fertilizers, when they are added to the agricultural field, it may be washed out during heavy rains or floods, and it those nutrients they are not biodegradable. So, they are accumulated in the water bodies and which will enhance the growth of these algae and other plant bodies. Due to that, no sunlight will pass into that water body, okay, and no oxygen levels will be decreased. So, this is called eutrophication. It is a major problem nowadays. The release of nutrient rich sewage and industrial effluents lead to introduction of the nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus and increase in temperature, and biological oxygen demand of the water body also increased, causing increased biological activity, thereby leading to algal blooms. Algal blooms, algals grow very fast. Okay. This results in the loss of indigenous flora and fauna. Some fishes, small animals will die due to the non-availability of oxygen and light. Okay. This is called eutrophication. It is an environmental problem related to water pollution. In some cases, large masses of floating plants, bog it is called, they develop, and finally converting the water body into land. The total water is used and is converted into land. The control of water pollution. Raw sewage can be treated using biological and other means to remove the solid, suspended and inorganic materials before it is released back into the environment. Okay. The raw sewage can be treated how? By using biological, means by using some useful bacteria, okay, and unicellular organisms, and we have to remove the solid or degradable waste materials will be there, no? They must be converted into inorganic materials before it is released back into the environment. Means high toxic materials can be converted into low toxic materials. Detoxification must be done before they are released into the main water bodies. Next, nitrogenous fertilizers can be denitrified using microbes which can convert the nitrate and nitrite into the gaseous nitrogen by a process called denitrification. Here also the nitrogen compounds. What are the nitrogen compounds? Nitrates and nitrites. These are the fertilizers contain nitrates and nitrites. They must be, the unused nitrates and nitrites must be converted into nitrogen by a process called denitrification. Okay. For this purpose also certain bacteria, denitrifying bacteria can be used. So, after converting into the nitrogen, atmospheric nitrogen can be released into the atmosphere and the fertilizer can be degraded. Okay. The next, integrated waste matter. The integrated waste water management as practiced in Arcata, California, these countries. In this approach, what they will do is the water is first treated by conventional means such as filtration, sedimentation and chlorine treatment. Just like for the filtration of the water, drinking water, the steps, okay, in the same manner here also filtration, sedimentation and chlorine treatment, followed by bioremediation. Bioremediation means marshes having appropriate plants, or so we are adding some extra. So, marsh plants, bacteria, fungi and algae, okay, were seeded which assimilate the dangerous pollutants such as heavy metals. Okay, they will swallow, they will take, so that water gets detoxified. Okay. So, this is one type of treatment. The modern technology we have to use. Next, land pollution. So, land pollution is a destruction or a decline in the quality of the earth's land surfaces in term of use, the landscape and ability to support life forms. So, any undesirable change which occur in the soil or land by the addition of unwanted materials is called land pollution. So, many times it is directly and indirectly caused by human activities and abuse of land resources. Okay. Land pollution takes place when the waste and garbage is not disposed of in the right manner, thus introducing toxins and chemicals on land. Okay. If we add more and more non-degradable substances to the land gets toxic, it becomes unfit. Okay. It also occurs when the people dump chemical products to soils in the form of herbicides, fertilizers, pesticides, or any other form of the consumer byproducts. The mineral exploitation equally leads to the decline in quality of the earth's land surfaces. Okay. As such, it has grave consequences for human health, plant life, and soil quality. Okay. Especially you might have observed in the colonies also, when empty plot is there neighbor or beside, what they will do, all the domestic waste they will throw into the empty plot. So, due to that, when it rains, what happen? The plastic containers and whatever may be the disposable glasses and other, okay, they store the water. In that water the mosquitoes will breed. Okay, and if any kitchen wastes drop like that, so they get decomposed and smell. Okay. This is an unhealthy habit developed by even the civilized people. Okay. So, it must be avoided. So, acid rain, construction sites, solid waste, mineral exploitation, and agricultural chemicals are the primary causes of land pollution. Soil pollution takes place when the chemical pollutants contaminate the soil or degraded by acts such as mining, clearance of vegetation cover, means cutting down of the trees, or the loss of topsoil, soil erosion. Okay. So, usually it happens when human activities directly or indirectly introduce destructive chemical substances or objects into the soil in a way that causes damage to the immediate earthly environment. Okay. Human activities, as a consequence, what happens? Soil loses its value of natural minerals and the nutrients compositions, fertility is lost and the soil become unfit. Soil degradation also contributes to soil pollution, and it occurs as a result of overgrazing, okay, by herbivorous animals, overfarming, okay, converting and even over mining activities. Okay. So, the notable causes of soil pollution include agricultural farming activities, waste dumping on land, industrial activities, mining, and acid rain. These are the main or major causes of soil pollution. Okay. Children, and you can collect the data by reading the books, okay, and learn by observing. Okay. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.